I'm gonna do an internet! Whoa! Well, I'm gonna do a book! Oh.
Number 3.
Every decade has a way of expressing itself, and the 80s was no different. Haircuts were short for boys while girls rocked the big bangs. Fashion choices varied, but almost everyone owned their own pair of Levi's, parachute pants, skinny ties, leggings, and armfuls of plastic bracelets. Troublemakers wore raggy clothes, Populicans went preppy, and outsiders, black. Lots of it. Although there were different styles of music in the 80s, the synthesizer was the signature sound. The main theme, Don't You Forget About Me, sung by the band Simple Minds, is still remembered today, along with many other iconic elements in the movie. And another thing, bands back then were more likely to play their own instruments. See the difference? Don't worry, you will.
Number 2.
Today we have twerking, the Harlem Shake, and Gangnam Style. But back then, the 80s had everything else. Whether it's bebopping in place, whatever those guys are doing, or whatever those are, they look like they're all having a good time. With that, I call that a seizure.
Number 1.
The Breakfast Club represents a slice of 80s culture thanks to the genius of its creator. John Hughes was a legendary director, best known for how his movies really captured the life of a teenager, how they talked, the issues they faced, and the dynamics between their different social groups. Some of his other movies are 16 Candles, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and Pretty in Pink. Many of the actors from The Breakfast Club are also in these movies. As a play on the 1950s Rat Pack, the Brat Pack was a group of young actors who appeared in a series of coming-of-the-age movies in the 80s. Another thing that you never saw in these films was product placement. Back then, businesses didn't see movies as a way of advertising, so directors made up their own companies just for the sake of making a scene feel more realistic. But nowadays, it's gotten worse. And finally, there was the 80s stereotypes. Instead of coming up with some smart remark, I'll let Brian's essay do the talking.
Dear Mr. Vernon, we accept the fact that we had to sacrifice a whole Saturday in detention for whatever it was we did wrong. But we think you're crazy to make us write an essay telling you who we think we are. And you see us as you want to see us. In the simplest terms, with the most convenient definitions. But what we found out is that each one of us is a brain,
And an athlete.
And a basket case. A princess.
And a criminal.
Does that answer your question? Sincerely yours, The Breakfast Club.